Weddings are beautiful, but what if I told you that your dream day is a goldmine for an industry built to profit off your love? From emotional upsells to hidden markups, here's how the wedding machine turns "I do" into big business. Weddings are seen as one of life's most beautiful milestones, a celebration of love, unity, and tradition. But behind the scenes is a massive, profit-driven machine that few couples see coming. From the moment you get engaged, you're pulled into a well-oiled marketing funnel. Pinterest boards, Instagram ads, bridal expos. They're all part of a multi-billion-dollar industry that profits off your emotions and expectations. What many don't realize is how dramatically prices increase when the word wedding is attached. Flowers, catering, venues, photography. Everything is subject to inflated markups, often without clear justification. And the industry wants you to believe these costs are just part of the experience. In this video, we'll break down how the wedding industry turns your big day into big business, reveal the hidden tactics that drive up costs, and show you how to protect your wallet without sacrificing the celebration. Weddings aren't just intimate ceremonies marking the union of two people. They are a major global business powerhouse. The wedding industry feeds a sprawling economic system that stretches across multiple sectors, from fashion and travel to media, event planning, and hospitality. As of 2024, the global wedding services market was valued at an astounding $899.64 billion, according to market analysts. What's even more striking is the projected trajectory. By 2030, that figure is expected to more than double, soaring to over $1.84 trillion. This remarkable growth is being fueled by a compound annual growth rate, CAGR, of 12.7%, a clear indicator of how weddings have evolved into an inseparable part of global consumer culture. In the United States, this trend is equally pronounced. The American wedding services market hit $64.93 billion in 2024 and is predicted to climb to $95.35 billion by 2030. Thanks to a steady compound annual growth rate of 6.8%. A key reason behind this consistent growth is the transformation in consumer behavior and expectations. Today's engaged couples aren't satisfied with traditional wedding templates. Instead, they're seeking highly curated, personalized experiences. Events that double as lifestyle statements and are designed to wow both in-person guests and online followers. The rise of social media platforms such as Instagram, Pinterest, and TikTok has radically redefined how weddings are imagined and executed. Scroll through any of these apps, and you're instantly immersed in a visual buffet of styled wedding shoots, elaborate venues, and themed decor. These platforms encourage couples to aim for picture-perfect, viral-worthy celebrations, thereby pushing demand for upscale vendors, creative installations, designer attire, and photogenic aesthetics that would have seemed excessive just a decade ago. Naturally, all of this visibility and aspiration comes with a price tag. In 2025, the average wedding in the United States costs about $36,000, a jump from $33,000 in 2024. These costs fluctuate based on several factors, including the guest list size, location, vendor selection, and the extent of personalization. Coastal cities like New York, Los Angeles, and Miami often see price tags that soar far above the national average, while weddings in rural or suburban areas are typically more economical. One of the most rapidly growing sectors in the wedding landscape is destination weddings. These unique celebrations allow couples to fuse their love for travel with their special day, creating unforgettable memories in exotic locales. The global destination wedding market was valued at $39.2 billion in 2024, and forecasts suggest this figure will skyrocket to $171.1 billion by 2033, growing at an exceptional compound annual growth rate of 17.3%. Resorts and luxury properties across the world have caught on, now offering all-inclusive packages designed to appeal to a global clientele seeking stress-free, luxurious wedding experiences. A breakdown of key revenue-driving sectors within the industry includes venues, often the largest single cost, averaging $10,500 in 2024. Bridal attire. A standard bridal gown can cost around $2,000. though custom or designer options can be significantly more. Photography and videography. With the demand for high-quality cinematic memories, packages now average $4,000. Catering. At roughly $75 per guest, food and beverages make up a substantial portion of most wedding budgets. Entertainment. DJs or live music acts typically range from $1,500 to $3,000. Planning services. Full-service wedding planners command about $3,000, often viewed as an investment in peace of mind. Beyond finances, cultural evolution is another factor shaping the industry. Modern weddings are increasingly inclusive and diverse, celebrating traditions from a wide range of backgrounds. This shift has created a demand for culturally aware vendors who can cater to varying customs, cuisines, rituals, and fashion, further enriching the industry's offerings and relevance. Ultimately, the modern wedding is a powerful blend of emotional significance, economic influence, and digital age aspiration. For couples stepping into this world, understanding its massive scale and evolving dynamics is crucial for making informed, meaningful, and budget-conscious decisions. When couples begin the process of planning a wedding, one of the first surprises they often face is the overwhelming cost of services and products. What makes this even more frustrating is discovering that many of these high prices are not purely due to quality or demand, but because of the word wedding itself. This phenomenon, commonly known as the wedding markup or wedding tax, refers to a widespread industry strategy where vendors charge significantly more for the same services simply because they are tied to a wedding. According to a detailed study by Consumer Reports, nearly 28% of wedding vendors admitted to quoting higher prices for weddings compared to identical events like birthday parties or anniversaries. A striking example from the report highlighted an Atlanta-based photographer who charged $300 per hour for a wedding shoot, but only $150 per hour for an anniversary session, at the same venue, on the same day, and for the exact same services. The only difference? The event was labeled a wedding. So why does this pricing discrepancy exist? Several factors contribute to this economic trend. For one, weddings are seen as once-in-a-lifetime events that carry immense emotional significance. Because of the pressure to make the day flawless, couples are often more willing to spend extra to secure what they perceive as the best. Vendors are aware of this emotional vulnerability and often price their services to reflect the heightened emotional and sentimental value that weddings represent. In defense, many vendors argue that weddings genuinely require more work, preparation, and attention to detail compared to other events. A DJ hired for a wedding might need to curate a highly specific playlist, coordinate multiple entrances and transitions, and even attend rehearsals. A florist may need to design custom arrangements, do venue walkthroughs, and accommodate precise delivery schedules. While these tasks do add to the workload, they don't always justify doubling or tripling the cost of services that are otherwise routine. One of the most challenging aspects of the wedding markup is the lack of transparency in pricing. Unlike other industries where price comparisons are easy, many wedding vendors avoid listing rates publicly. This lack of openness makes it hard for couples to understand standard pricing or to identify when they're being overcharged. Often, inflated costs only become obvious after contracts are signed or deposits are paid, leaving couples with little room to renegotiate. In some instances, the markup is blatantly obvious. Certain venues, for example, offer two different menus, one labeled for weddings and one for general events. The wedding menu often features identical food and drink packages, but costs 30% to 50% more, offering no additional value. Even basic items like chair rentals, table linens, or lighting setups can carry a wedding-specific surcharge that wouldn't be applied for a corporate or community event. To protect themselves, couples must take a more strategic and cautious approach to wedding planning. One useful tip is to avoid mentioning the word wedding when making initial vendor inquiries. Instead, frame it as a private event or party and see how the quote compares. Always request itemized pricing to understand exactly what you're paying for, and don't hesitate to shop around for multiple quotes. Negotiation should never be off the table. This is a service industry, and you have every right to seek fair value. Ultimately, by being informed and proactive, couples can avoid falling prey to the wedding markup. Understanding how this pricing strategy works empowers them to make better financial decisions, reduce unnecessary expenses, and focus their resources on what truly matters, creating a celebration that reflects their love without draining their wallets. Weddings are deeply personal and emotionally charged events, marking one of the most cherished milestones in a person's life. The wedding industry is acutely aware of this emotional significance and has designed its marketing approach to take full advantage of it. By tapping into sentiments of love, commitment, excitement, and the lifelong dream of a perfect day, vendors utilize strategic emotional marketing techniques that can subtly but powerfully influence how much couples spend. These are not accidental methods. They're part of a deliberate and sophisticated approach to drive higher spending, often causing couples to exceed their original budget without fully realizing it. One of the most persuasive tools in the industry's arsenal is storytelling. From cinematic advertisements and high-gloss brochures to viral social media content, vendors craft narratives that showcase fairy tale weddings filled with perfect moments, beautiful details, and glowing, stress-free couples. These stories present more than just a service. They portray a vision that many couples begin to internalize as a benchmark for their own event. As a result, couples may feel pressured to invest heavily in luxurious venues, personalized decor, designer gowns, and elaborate floral arrangements, just to bring that idealized image to life. Another potent psychological tool is social proof. In today's hyper-connected digital environment, couples often turn to reviews, testimonials, YouTube videos, and Instagram posts to inspire and validate their planning choices. Seeing what other couples have done can easily trigger FOMO, fear of missing out. If friends, influencers, or even acquaintances showcased extravagant features at their weddings, couples may feel compelled to match or outdo those efforts to avoid seeming less stylish or less thoughtful. This kind of peer-driven comparison quickly turns weddings into performative experiences, pushing budgets upward. Then there's anchoring, a subtle yet powerful pricing strategy. Vendors often present an extremely high-priced luxury package first, setting a psychological benchmark. The subsequent options, while still expensive, feel more reasonable in comparison. For instance, if a premium wedding package is priced at $100,000, a mid-tier $60,000 package may suddenly seem like a bargain, even if it's beyond what a couple initially intended to spend. This anchoring effect nudges couples to stretch their financial boundaries while still feeling like they're making a smart, value-based choice. Understanding how these emotional and psychological strategies function is crucial for couples embarking on their wedding planning journey. With heightened awareness, couples can start to see these tactics for what they are: tools designed to manipulate spending behaviors. This doesn't mean avoiding quality services, but rather approaching each decision with clarity and purpose. Being informed helps couples pause, reassess their actual priorities, and make decisions that reflect both their emotional desires and their financial limits. Ultimately, a wedding should be about meaning and celebration, not marketing pressure. By staying grounded and resisting the emotional tug of perfect wedding narratives, couples can plan a day that is true to their relationship, memorable in its authenticity, and aligned with what truly matters to them, not just what's trending online or being sold by the industry. Planning a wedding is often described as one of the most exciting yet stressful experiences in a couple's life. The anticipation of creating a perfect celebration can be thrilling, but navigating the wedding industry, especially one that thrives on emotion and high expectations, requires careful strategy. With vendors using sophisticated marketing techniques and costs quickly escalating, couples must approach the process with clarity, intention, and a firm grip on their finances. Here are 10 practical and empowering tips to help guide couples through wedding planning while staying in control of their budget and vision. 1. Set a realistic budget and stick to it. The foundation of a successful wedding plan is a realistic and well-defined budget. Before booking anything, determine how much you're willing and able to spend. Be clear about your financial sources: savings, contributions from family, or monthly income. Once the total budget is set, break it into categories like venue, catering, attire, decor, and entertainment. Don't forget to reserve about 5 to 10% for unexpected expenses that often pop up during the planning process. Use spreadsheets or online tools to keep track of every payment, invoice, and estimate. Budgeting from the beginning prevents overspending and reduces stress later on. 2. Prioritize what matters. Most every couple has different priorities. For some, photography and videography might be non-negotiable. For others, it might be the cuisine, music, or floral design. Discuss what truly matters to both of you and allocate more funds toward those areas. This helps prevent regrets about spending too much on things that don't enhance your overall experience. Likewise, consider scaling back or choosing simpler options for less important elements. Planning with purpose ensures your money goes toward what genuinely brings you joy. 3. Trim the guest list. Thoughtfully. It's easy to feel obligated to invite distant relatives, co-workers, or plus ones. But every additional guest increases the cost for food, drinks, seating, and even larger venues. Focus your list on close friends and family who hold genuine significance in your lives. A smaller guest list not only helps control costs, but fosters a more intimate, meaningful celebration where you can connect with everyone present. Choose off-peak dates and days. Saturdays during wedding season, typically late spring through early fall, are the most in demand and therefore most expensive. Consider choosing a weekday or an off-season date, such as a winter wedding or a Sunday brunch. Many venues and vendors offer discounted rates for less popular time slots. These alternatives not only save money, but can also make availability easier to secure for your preferred vendors. 5. Explore non-traditional venues. Hotels and banquet halls can be pricey. Instead, look into public parks, community halls, private homes, museums, or botanical gardens. These venues often offer a unique ambiance and lower rental fees. Just make sure to account for any necessary permits, insurance, or rentals for amenities like restrooms, seating, or lighting. 6. Embrace DIY and second-hand finds. Adding a personal touch to your wedding doesn't have to cost a fortune. DIY projects, like handcrafted invitations, centerpieces, or guest favors, can be both meaningful and cost-effective. Additionally, secondhand wedding websites and resale groups offer everything from gowns and tuxedos to decor and signage at a fraction of retail prices. Thrift stores and online marketplaces can also be treasure troves for unique, budget-friendly pieces. 7. Streamline alcohol service. A full open bar can significantly inflate your budget. Instead, consider offering beer, wine, and 1 or 2 signature cocktails. This limited selection keeps costs manageable without sacrificing guests' enjoyment. You can also discuss providing your own alcohol with the venue or caterer, which is often cheaper than purchasing through them. Just be sure to understand corkage fees. 8. Consider hiring a wedding planner or coordinator. It may seem counterintuitive to spend money on a planner when trying to save, but hiring a professional wedding planner or day of coordinator can actually lead to cost savings. These experts have established relationships with vendors, can negotiate better deals, and help prevent costly last-minute mistakes. They also ensure the event runs smoothly, so you can focus on enjoying your day. 9. Watch out for hidden fees. Surprise charges can sneak up quickly. Carefully review contracts for service fees, delivery charges, overtime penalties, setup costs, and gratuities. Ask each vendor for a detailed quote or itemized invoice to understand what's included and what could incur additional charges. This transparency helps avoid unpleasant budget surprises. 10. Stay authentic to yourselves. Amid all the advice, trends, and Pinterest boards, the most important thing is to stay true to your values and personalities. Don't feel pressured to follow traditions or trends that don't resonate with you. Whether your style is simple and elegant or bold and unconventional, your wedding should reflect your unique love story, not just what the industry says it should be.